곧 큰 난이 벌어질 것만 같다. 나는 호의를 부탁받은 몸이니 끝까지 지키려 하겠으나 어쩌면 S사에서 설 자리를 잃게 될지도 모르겠지. 지켜야 할 그분이나 나와 친구들도.
I mean, who else are we gonna put on this one? Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Ekamak. This is Limbus Company's brand new event, and we're not going to do it today. We have regular maintenance compensation for some reason. I guess I forgot to turn in today's daily missions. Whoops. But for now, I'm going to look at the new identities. So, first of all, I have already looked at some of them, but it's all interesting stuff, I promise. Constricting Aura Bonds. Coin power +1 for every 6 poise on self and bleed on target. If the target has Trust Hong Lu, final power +1. 3 poise count, 4 poise, 2 bleed count, 2 bleed, 1 bind. If the target has Trust Hong Lu, inflict 1 Trust Hong Lu. So it rolls an 11, but it can roll 4. It could roll a 5 on each coin. A 17. The power creep in this game is real. Avulsion Slash 4 plus 6, so that's a 16 by default, but it could be rolling 8, so it could be rolling a 20. Then throw in the final power for 21, so actually this could roll even higher because it has final power. Ouch. Gain 3 poise, inflict 2 bleed. If target has 2 plus Trust Hong Lu, consume 1 to reuse this coin. On crit, inflict an avulsion wound. On hit, gain haste and activate bleed once. Max stack 3, gain 2 bleed, gain bind next turn, lose a stack. It's interesting how they're trying to come up with different ways to stack up bleed. Skill 3, Hunter's Scouring, Coin power +1 for every poise on self and bleed on the target. If the target has Trust Hong Lu, convert all skills to Unbreakables, gain final power, and inflict bleed count and attack power down next turn on hit. Gain 5 poise, gain 3 poise count, 4 plus 3, so that's 6, 12, 16 by default. But we can have 2 coin power. So that's 24. And then throw in the extra final power, because why not? Just to bring it up, 3 poise count, 3 coins. 2 poise count, 2 coins. 4 coins, 3 poise count, but it gains it after it gains poise. So it can be 4 poise count if you have nothing. 1 clashable counter, 3 poise count. Poise count will only stabilize if he uses his skill, if he uses defense skill, and gets the clash win. On the upside, this is the easiest way to inflict Trust Hong Lu, because otherwise, if target does not have Trust Hong Lu, inflict Trust Hong Lu. Inflict bind, bleed, count, bleed, avulsion wound, 2 stacks if it's a crit, and inflict Pride Fragility. Now there's a rare one. Inflict Pride Fragility next turn. Defense skill clashable counter. Gain clash power if we have enough poise on self and bleed on target. Gain 5 poise and then gain 3 poise count, so it becomes 4. It's kind of a mini version of Hunter's Scouring, isn't it? And that is kind of the point. Passives. If target has Trust Hong Lu, gain prisoner transport arrangements. In a clash against enemies that have Trust Hong Lu, clash power +1. On hit, inflict bleed and gain 1 poise. 2 skills per turn. If there are no trust targets, expire. When chaining skills, if there is an enemy that has Trust Hong Lu, we can redirect that enemy's attack skills regardless of speed in focused encounters. 3 Pride Resonance. If this unit's speed is faster than the target, deal extra damage times the speed difference to a maximum of 10%. But if they are Trust, double the above damage. So all that haste and bind is actually getting put to good use. The downside is that there's a lot of enemies that just roll stupidly high speed because screw you, I want my super attack turn. For every ally that has a slash pride skill equipped this turn, deal 30% more damage. I think he's designed to be a quick trade-in for the... I'm saying a thing. I think he's supposed to be a quick trade-in for the Blade Lineage team for the first person that dies. Anyhow, Spiteful Pursuit. When one ally with the earliest deployment order attacks an enemy that has bind, deal extra damage. Increase after winning a clash, defeating an enemy whose level is higher or equal, or an ally defeats an enemy higher or equal. If an defeated ally is higher level than this, decrease sanity based on the level difference. Mnestic experience. Interesting music. But of course we have our other two things here. Ishmael Blade Lineage LCD Limbus Company. It's not going to change based on that, gotcha. Rending Arts, 3 plus 4, rolls in 11 by default. Gain coin power at 5 plus poise, so that's a 13. Clash power for all the bleed on a target. Pushes us to 15. At 3 plus haste, pushes us to 16. Gain 2 poise count. So slightly below average. If this unit has haste, gain Mook Workshop Yay, Type 2 Blade Draw, Thrust Force Dokkaebi Fire, once per turn. Can gain up to 10 stacks per turn. Slash base attacks deal extra damage for every stack. Defense skills lose clash power for every 2 stacks, for a maximum of 5. Turn end, gain haste next turn. On hit, gain poise, and inflict a bleed. If this unit has Dokkaebi arms and 3 haste, reuse this coin. Combat end, this effect expires, gain 2 poise count. I think that's going to be the important part for managing her poise count. Anyhow, skill 2, Acupuncture. I'm 90% sure that's the name of a skill from the Blade Lineage in Library of Ruina, but I'm not 100% certain. At 5 poise, gain coin power. So at the moment it rolls 4, 4, 4, 12, 15. Raise that to 18. 20. 22. I feel like I must be messing things up. Gain 3 poise count, 3 coins, below average. Gain 1 Mook Workshop Yay for every haste on self to maximum of 2 once per turn. Gain poise, inflict bleed, gain poise, inflict bleed. Inflict bleed count. If we have Dokkaebi arms and 3 haste, reuse this coin, and on crit, gain 2 haste next turn. To Claim Their Bones is a skill 2 for some reason. This skill does not trigger defense skills. Deal extra damage for all the missing HP on self. Deal extra damage on crit for every haste on self. Deal extra damage for every Mook Workshop Yay on self, up to 15%. Deal extra damage on crit for every poise on self to a maximum of 30%. So it caps at 20 poise, gotcha. Gain poise, inflict slash fragility once per turn, inflict bleed and paralyze next turn. Skill 3, Lucent Rippling Flame. Rolls 5 plus 4, so that's a 17 by default. Deal extra damage for every poise on self to a maximum of 30%, caps at 20, we just figured that out. Final power for every 2 haste on self, so that becomes 19. Coin power for all the bleed on target and poise on self. Maximum of 2, so plus 6, 6, 12, 18, 20, 25. At 10 plus Mook Workshop, convert all coins into unbreakables. On use, gain poise. On use, gain haste. Attack end. Gain Mook Workshop for every haste on self to a maximum of 3. Gain 3 poise count. Okay. It's still not quite as stable as we'd like it to be though. On crit, gain Mook Workshop. On hit, gain poise. On crit, gain Mook Workshop. Deal extra damage for all the Mook Workshop on self to a maximum of 20%, so it caps at 10. Inflict bleed / fragility and gain Mook Workshop on crit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's still going to take a lot of work to get that much Mook Workshop. On use, so I don't think it'll convert to unbreakable coins midway, but you wouldn't really get anything from that, would you? Her advanced skill 3, even the balance, lucent rippling form. This skill doesn't trigger defense skills. Extra crit damage for every poison self, caps at 20 for 30%. 5% more damage on crit for every haste on self. So at 5 haste, huh? 3 poise count. Attack and consume all Mook Workshop on self. 3 poise. Gain a Mook Workshop on crit. Bleed. Gain a Mook Workshop on crit. Bleed. Gain a Mook Workshop on crit. At more than 15, deal 5% damage on crit for every excess stack. To a maximum of 25%. 5 extra At 5 plus haste, reuse this coin once per skill. Oh, good gravy, that sounds like a complete mess to try and figure out what you're gonna do. Defense skill, I'll light the path forward. Clashable Guard, gain and assist defense. Gain 2 haste next turn, gain 2 poise count. On Clash Wind, gain 3 poise. Skill end. If we have haste, gain 2 Mook Workshop. Once per turn. Hang on, there was a thought that I just had. It's a Clashable Guard, which means that we go poise positive at this point. For using this, I mean. Observing the stones on the board. Clashable Guard. Assist defense exclusive skill. Heal SP on the target this unit guarded using assist defense. Gain 3 poise, gain an unbreakable coin. On base attack skill end, if we have 15 plus Mook Workshop, activate her super skill 3 once per turn. On defense skill Clash lose, at 3 plus haste, we cannot be staggered. Activate to claim their bones after being hit, 2 times per turn. Because she should only be getting, so she gets an assist defense at least twice. She can get 2 assist or more. She can get 2 assist defenses. You can use her defensive skill more than once in an unfocused encounter, but it won't be that impressive. Upon entering the battlefield for the first time, this unit gains Bearing of Salsu for every Blade Lineage identity on the field, excluding this unit, to a maximum of 3. Gain offense level for each stack, gain poise on hit with slash attacks, but lose a stack when allied Blade Lineage is defeated. If 3 or more die, gain Swordplay of the Homeland. When gaining poise, potency, and count with his skill or coin effects, gain an additional poise and count. If 5 or more are defeated, gain 2 instead. Triggering her Pride Resonance. Limbus Company Specialized Prosthetic and Prototype Mark V, Dokabe Arms. Gain Dokabe Arms and heal Pride Resonance SP for Blade Lineage identities, excluding this unit. That's really good. Take less damage, gain haste, and gain poise count. If there's an allied identity at less than 50% HP, excluding this unit, gain an assist defense. Gain Mook Workshop for every poise on self to maximum of 5. So it caps at 15, but 2 times per turn on skill end. Okay, so we get 5 from this. One, or 2, or 3. So that's 6, 7, or 8. But since she gets an assist defense, that could actually mean she gets 10. But the thing is, this is still something that takes a lot of setup to pull off. Cut down what must be felled. One ally with the fastest speed deals 10% damage using slash skills. If they have haste, deal 15% damage instead. And now the cool thing. HE, Shadow Vested Bladesinger. Costs 1 Wrath, 1 Envy, 4 Pride. When used for the first time in an encounter, consume 15 less SP. So this is actually a 5 SP ego on the first run. If this is Blade Lineage Mentor Mersault, also consume 1 fewer Wrath, Pride, and Envy ego resources. Translation: it only costs 3 Pride on the first turn. Well, the second turn. But still, this is something that'll be very easy to pull off. If this unit gained Drink to the Fallen during this encounter, deal 100% against the main target. Deal 200% if you are Blade Lineage Mentor instead. Gain Highest Resonance divided by 2 attack weight. Max 2 rounded down. 1 attack weight becomes 3 attack weight. 3 plus Highest Resonance allies with the earliest deployment order gain 4 poise count. That's ridiculous. Attack and 4 other allied blade lineages that have the lowest SP heal SP. Gain 4 Drink to the Fallen next turn. Inflict 4 bleed, inflict 2 bleed count. Corrosion, Shadow Vested Bladesinger. Target randomly. Gain Clash Power for every 4 poise on self to a maximum of 16. And deal 30%. Two Clash Power. So that's 8 stacks. 32 poise will give it 16 Clash Power. Which means it's rolling a 29, minus 2 4 times over. I think they figured it out. I think they figured out that these low rolling ego just don't have a chance of actually winning any clashes, so people don't use them. 8 Clash Power, so this rolls about a 20 at max power. For some reason I didn't read anything about the Clash Power bonus anyway. Base power minus 2 for every cracked coin. All enemies and allies gain poise count, slash damage up, and slash fragility. Oh, good gravy. 4 other allied blade lineage identities that have the lowest SP heal 10 SP, gain Drink to the Fallen. On crit, gain final power on the final coin. On crit, gain final power to the final coin. Final power to the final coin, plus 2 bleed. It's a minus 2 coin, which means that for each crit, it won't. If you crit but if you roll all crits and all heads, then this is going to be at its maximum power at the original. Unless you've been getting base power minus. But if you were to not get that, then that means it rolls a 19 on the final coin, which isn't that bad for something that's at the tail end of a bunch of negative coins. Always active for Blade Lineage Mentor Mersault. On hit with a base skill, inflict bleed. This identity counts as an identity that applies bleed and poise. This identity's base skills count as skills that inflict bleed and poise. When an ally is defeated, gain Drink to the Fallen. If they are Blade Lineage, gain 2 instead. If this unit has Drink to the Fallen, enter Resentment. on hit, heal by 10% of damage dealt. Can heal up to 50% of max HP per skill. Oh, good gravy. Also, min and max speed +2. He gains Resentful Scabbard as Bladesinger Mersault. When an ally, including this unit, takes damage, can gain Growing Resentment. In Memoriam passive now ignores conditionals and activates at max potential. When activating Pride Resonance, apply the True Essence on all Blade Lineage allies other than this unit. When using Yield My Flesh until skill end, this unit's HP does not drop below 10. Lose Poise on Self-Clash power. So basically it's saying you have so much, you're going to have a whole bunch of clash power to ensure you lose this clash. When using To Claim Their Bones, gain Poise. And then it tells us what Sword of the Lowland True Essence does. Final power plus number of Blade Lineage allies on the field divided by 3 to a maximum of 2. If this unit is a Blade Lineage Salsu, gain final power +1 and extra damage 120% divided by number of coins, and gain haste. Wow. If this unit doesn't have Strength of the Fallen, remove Resentment, Growing Resentment, and Resentful Scabbard. To Claim Their Bones gains stack divided by 100 final power to a maximum of 6. On hit, deal stack percent divided by 10% damage, then expire. For his skill 3. When this unit has Drink to the Fallen, once per encounter. When this unit takes damage that brings its HP to 0, heal Drink to the Fallen stack times 25% HP. Then, Drink to the Fallen immediately expires. Once per encounter, activate after identify passives with similar effects. So his usual one will kick in, and then this one will kick in after. When staggered, recover from stagger if it's not a forced stagger. So this is all very cool stuff. I'm gonna shoot myself for this later, but 1 extraction. Oh, good old talisman after nerfing. I do not want to burn through all my stuff, even though I would love to have this for tomorrow's excavation. I do not. I cannot burn all of my extractions now. I don't think I've even paid off my I don't think I've even caught up from last time. Yeah, I'll get started tomorrow on these. I'll get started on next episode. We're going to actually start the story. So until then, guys, take care. I'll see you all around. Blunt weakness, gotcha. So she matches every other Blade Lineage member. Well, I say that, but she doesn't. A lot of them are PS weak instead.
달빛이 강할 때는 주의하는 편이 좋다. 몸에 베인 상처들을 바깥으로 내보이는 것은 좋지 않으니까.